Raise your hands if you have ever said this or heard a friend say it. I don't follow politics. It's all corrupt anyway. My one vote doesn't matter. That feeling, that is not just burnout, that is the single most dangerous vulnerability in a political system. When you check out, you don't make the system go away, you just hand your power to someone else without supervision. Today, I want to show you, using hard data and political theory, one simple fact: a politically aware citizen is not just a better voter, they are the structural glue that prevents a country from sliding into authoritarianism or chaos. By the end of this video, I hope you never see the phrase, I don't follow politics, the same way again as you already think. For most of human history, the average person was a subject. Your role was simple: pay tax, obey the law, and don't revolt. Stability came from a king or a strong man. That is what we call vertical control. But in a democracy or republic, the model flips. Power becomes horizontal, it comes from the collective. So the role of the citizen changed from consumer to operator. Let's define political awareness. This is not about watching 24 hours news screaming heads. It is a three specific skills. First, process literacy. Knowing how a bill actually becomes a law or how your local budget is approved. Second, incentive recognition. Knowing why a politician votes a certain way, whether it is a campaign, donors, primary threats, or a constituent pressure. And third is historical memory. Knowing what happened this last time a similar policy was tried. When you lack these three basic skills, you don't act as a citizen. You act as a hostage. You react to headlines emotionally. You are easy to manipulate. The system becomes unstable because you are a ping pong ball, not a counterweight. Political scientists call this the principal agent problem. You, the republic, are the principal. You hire the government, it means the agent, to run day to day things, to run the government. The problem is, agents usually end up serving themselves, not serving you. So, how do you solve that? You can't watch them 24/7. You need feedback loops. Awareness fuels three feedback loops you need to understand. Loop 1 is monitoring. An aware citizen reads the minutes from the school board meeting. They notice the superintendent gave a no bid contact to his own brother in law. That citizen posts about it online. Local news picks it up. Loop 2 is reward and punishment. Next election, that superintendent is fired who have given a bid contact to his brother-in-law. The school board members who approved the deal lose their seats. Consequence exists. Loop 3. Signal. Every other bureaucrat in the county sees this happen, or every other bureaucrat working in the same area sees this happen, and they start to think, if I steal, the citizen will notice. This is called deterrence by awareness, not deterrence from the bureaucrats or the establishment. In a low awareness system, Corruption fosters silently until it explodes into a scandal. It is a high awareness system. Corruption is caught when it is still a small weed, not a redwood tree. That is a stability. Here is the counterintuitive truth. A stable political system is not one where everyone agrees, but a stable political system is one that can absorb shocks without breaking. Now, the question is what is a shock? Shock is a recession that a country face, a pandemic that country has to face, a contested election that create a chaos or problem in the country. Now watch what happens in a low awareness society. A shock hits. The average citizen doesn't understand why the government is slow to respond this shock. Maybe it is a federalism, maybe it's a supply chain. Because they don't understand the process, they assume malice. The government is trying to kill us and they're thinking negatively. Thus, trust collapses. People take to the streets. Violence becomes rational because they think the system is already broken. Now, we contrast that type of a challenge with the high awareness society. The same recession hits citizen in that country too. The aware citizen thinks my mayor has limited tax authority. The central bank is independent. I disagree with the policy, but I see the logic. I will vote against them in a 18th month. No awareness creates time preference. It allows a citizen to distinguish between I am losing and the system is failing. That distinction is the only thing that prevents a democracy from turning into a civil war. But here is the warning. Awareness is exhausting, it is a cognitive muscle, and like any muscle, it fatigues. We live in an era of hyper awareness without focus. You know what is happening in Ukraine, Gaza, in Iran, your state capital, and your city council, all in the same 10 seconds scroll on your phone. But that is not awareness. That is called noise exposure. Noise exposure leads to learned helplessness. Nothing I do matters because the world is on fire everywhere. To actually stabilize this system, you have to localize your understanding and your awareness. You cannot stabilize the national debit by yourself, but you can stabilize your local zoning board. Political stability comes from the aggregate of millions of small, boring, technical interventions, showing up to the planning commission, reading the 10-page bond measures, asking the comptroller one hard question at the town hall, or asking a simple question to your member of assembly or member of your national assembly. That is the new role of the citizen, not the revolution in the streets, chanting slogans and breaking government assets. The accountant at the public hearing. So let's go back to start. Main hook was I don't do politics. Now, if you say that, you are not avoiding the game. You are just choosing to lose it. You become a free rider, enjoying the benefits of stability that other people fought for by staying informed. A stable political system does not need you to be a genius. It does not need you to watch cable news for 6 hours a day. It needs three things from you. Number one, One, local commitment. Follow one source of local government news. Number two, one process question. Next time you see a policy, ask yourself, how would this actually be enforced? Number three, one act of memory. Remember what happened 2 years ago so you are not fooled by the same trick today. Change your role from messenger to co pilot. The system won't get stable until you do. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.